it's the sort of distance where you might start thinking about pushing on and bidding for glory, but the pace that's being set by Astana at the moment is ensuring that this group of 30 riders is more or less staying together. So they're out the side. You can see the incline right now, Magnus. It's significant on occasion.
Well, it definitely is with the ramp to going up there, 11.5%. That tends to sting regardless of how long it is. But with the pace being set here by Astana, and quite a strong pace at that, you know, it's not really given an awful lot of opportunity for other riders to go out there on the attack and try and break clear.
So 5 Astana riders and the shedding personnel. Quick sideways glance there from Fabio Ru said, "You're right." Ru, of course, used to climbing, had a great run in the Giro d'Italia, couldn't quite deny Alberto Contador, and is back here and ready to take on the Vuelta. And that's what this race is essentially about. It used to be a prep for the Worlds. These days, it's very much preparation ahead of the great Spanish Tour, which of course you'll be able to keep in touch with live here on Eurosport. Once again, we're going to be just welcoming back our friends from all our Eurosport services, so if you just bear with us, we'll be back with everyone together in a wee while. Welcome back, everybody. Clark just out the rear, just plying his trade, just passing by some of these guys and just appreciating what they're putting into today, quite frankly, which is quite a lot. We're on this penultimate climb, and Astana have just started to shed personnel. They're down to 4.
Allee, wat had die bevoorradingen, jong?
They've been putting in.
23 kilometer, zegt hij. Is het er niet?
For BMC is up towards the 4, as you can see, just bouncing on the pedals. A little bit further back, we note that it's Reichenbach and Warbas for I Am Cycling, George Bennett and Lindemann on board for Lotto Jumbo in their yellow and black. Simon Clark's here for Orica Green Edge, Garcia and Niev for Team Sky, and yeah, plenty of others as well with a decent option on the day. But I guess you've got to be a bit of a puncher today, not just an alpine climbist, an alpinist. Do you want to pick a winner? It's a long way out.
Well, it is quite a difficult one to pick for today's stage. Let me have a quick think.
You just curl up with your quilt, and we'll be back with you in a minute. 20 kilometres an hour, no great shakes, but then again, we've just seen the section of 11.4% within this climb while we were on the break, and it really was quite a nasty incline. These guys did sort of start to spread out a little bit. To my mind, it's about 30 riders in this group who are going to be bidding for glory. I mean, why not the likes of Chris Anker Sorensen?
Well, I don't think Chris is the man. I think he's done a fair bit of work so far. I think it would be, you know, someone like Niemiec is certainly a strong enough rider to, you know, and he's got a good kick on him as well to do something with this. But yeah, there's a lot of talented riders. No one really with enough sort of a sprint on them to make that big difference. But yeah, we shall have to wait and see on that one.
Just double checking actually with my own list on these guys who are up here. Yes, I'm cycling. They've kind of flourished a little bit late in the season, I must say. They're here and they've got options.
No, they've obviously done very well over the last couple of stages with Palucchi. They're doing two together or two back to back.
They've got a thirst for it, haven't they? And they've got 2 men in the breakaway here today, and significantly, Sebastian Reichenbach, who could be a GC contender.
Yeah, he may potentially be that. It remains to be seen what certainly tomorrow and the final time trial. Tomorrow's mountain top finish is going to be a tough one. But there's, yeah, like I said, there's so much talent in this group, and everyone is here now starting to look for, want to show themselves up for World Championships, selections, and so on. And with that, you know, it's going to be everyone's going to fight for it.
It's a very good point, Magnus. You know, the world champs here, it's a coveted position to be part of. And 20.7 to go.
And the one rider that we are missing out of this one is the current world champion.
Yes, we were talking about the rainbow stripes earlier on, but he is absent, Michael Kwiatkowski. He didn't look overly pleased with himself yesterday, actually. So not quite sure what the issue is for the Ethics Quick Step man, but yeah, he's absent from this group.
That's a bit of a shame because I was expecting him to do quite well there.
Well, we did see the rainbow jersey a few moments ago, but there's a bit of a belly underneath it. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is a proper push, and it's Enau who's going for it. Now, he can go from this sort of distance. Got to go and face as well. So they're going to get themselves a bit of a free ride, courtesy of what Enau is doing now.
Well, they are. Enau is he's a strong enough climber to really put the pressure on the Astana riders and try and shed as many of them as possible to then see what can happen with the rest of the team from Team Sky. They can work with David Lopez.
Sky, of course, are on the heels of a fantastic result in the Tour de France. Chris Froome taking his second victory at the Grand Boucle and doing a fine job of it. And Sky proving that they can fight on many fronts. They've got the funding, but more importantly than that, they've got the talent and the self-belief. They declared that today would be a day that they would go for it. And guess what? They're going for it.
They're definitely going for it. Today, like I said, it's one of those days where you can potentially surprise a few riders if you actually find an opportunity to go in the attack, then why not? Certainly putting a fair bit of pressure on Astana, having to close Sergio down, and it's also putting a lot of pressure on a few riders down the back of this group.
Ja, bevoorrading.
We have to put a line through a number of names later on today. There's Tirolongo, the latest from Astana, tailing off, as you can see, towards the rear of this group, and they're rocking with it. And now's push has been matched, and as the 20k marker approaches,
Here.
last bottle, Rakovac takes one from the Ion Cycling Soigneur. Lots being handed out here, and willingly taken. Capecchi says thank you very much. It's a warm day. It was supposed to be about 26 Celsius, but in the lack of a breeze, all right, we're at altitude here. It's a very pleasant day to pick up the bicycle, and thankfully the rain has stayed away. It was a threat, Magnus, but a dry one, which is good.
Yeah, it's always much nicer to ride around in the dry weather than having rain. Although at a certain point it can make life very, very interesting when it does rain. Certainly here in Poland, where the roads tend to be somewhat difficult to ride on when